So for the past couple of weeks, I've had the biggest, toughest new Samsung smartwatch strapped to my wrist. The Galaxy Watch 5 Pro boasts a battery that's twice the size of the regular model, plus a super rugged design, so it's theoretically ideal for people who love heading off into the wilderness for great outdoor adventures, very much not like me. But naturally, like most Samsung gear, it doesn't come cheap. The asking price of the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro is 429 quid, or a hefty £479 if you fancy a bit of LTE action chucked in there. So not only is it the biggest and the toughest, it's also the most expensive of the new Galaxy Watch 5 series by quite some margin. But is it actually worth that money? Well, as I say, I've had it slapped on my wrist for the past fortnight or so here's my in-depth Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 Pro review. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now, unlike the regular version, the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro model comes in just one size, this here god almighty 45mm effort. And I feel like I can just about get away with it here on my frankly weedy kindergartner arms. It doesn't look too ridic, as the kids say. And yeah, it is pretty heavy as well, as you might imagine, but you just adjust to it, and after less than a day you don't even realize you've got basically a brick strapped to your arm. Possibly helps with bicep growth as well. That tough as nails titanium body is an upgrade over the regular watch's stainless steel shenanigans, and after a couple of weeks of being smacked off walls and countertops and such forth, absolutely no dinks or chips or scuffs or anything to report on at all. It still looks box fresh. And that enhanced sapphire screen is also more than rugged enough to survive all kinds of hijinks, and that's helped along by Samsung's rather crafty design, which has it slightly sunken beneath the bezels for extra protection. Again, no scratches or other issues whatsoever, so this thing is still in pristine condition, and that's despite the fact that I am rather cack-handed and do end up slapping it off all kinds of surfaces. And naturally, like pretty much every other smartwatch out there, the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro is fully water resistant, so it can be submerged, no issues. While the regular Watch 5 comes in a small selection of colours, you don't really have much choice at all here. With the Pro, it essentially comes in black or grey. Ooh. However, you can at least change up the strap and mix and match from a whole selection of sports bands and link bracelets and such forth. And this magnetic D-buckle strap is absolutely fantastic. Snaps on and off quickly and easily, very easily adjustable as well, and one size fits all. Even if your wrist could essentially be described as that of a frail elderly woman. Unfortunately, however, even on the Pro model, there's no rotating bezel action to skim through the user interface, which is a real shame because that was one of the highlights of the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic from last year. Instead, you can always rub your finger around the circumference of the screen to sort of mimic a bezel action, but it isn't quite as precise, and it's only really good for quickly zipping to the other end of your widgets collection. Still, I had absolutely no problems whatsoever with the touch controls here on this gorgeous Super AMOLED display. It is perfectly responsive to all of your touches, swipes, pokes, prods, whatever. And it's also as bright, sharp and poppy as you would hope, with wide viewing angles and an automatic brightness that definitely does its job well. It's certainly as good as any other premium smartwatch display out there, some proper eye candy. On the software side of things, nothing much has really changed up at all from last year. You're still running Samsung and Google's collaborative effort on Wear OS, which I rather like. Most of your time will likely be spent in the widgets here, which are fully customizable, so you can add in, rip out and rearrange them as merrily as you like. And most of them are bright, bold and colourful to make the most of that gorgeous AMOLED display. You've also got a wide selection of pre-installed watch faces to choose between, and while most of the new ones aren't exactly anything revolutionary, you're bound to find at least one that you like, with plenty of animated efforts chucked in here if that's your bag, such as the usual Bitmoji bollocks. The majority of these watch faces can be customized down to the tiniest detail. Just long press on them, hit customize and away you go. You can choose from a small selection of fonts, for instance. And you can actually mess around with the complications, as they are known, which are displayed as well, to get all of the pertinent information right there on your main watch face. And there really is an impressive selection here, all kinds of weather stuff, including the UV, index and wind. You can add on stopwatches and timers, direct control over your assistant, your Samsung Buds, and of course fast access to your exercise shenanigans. And if you do ever find yourself getting bored of Samsung's selection of watch faces, well, no worries, just get yourself on the Google Play Store and you can download hundreds, thousands of new watch faces straight to your watch in a matter of seconds. And even though the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 Pro is running Wear OS, which is a Google collaboration, you will find that it's Samsung services which are slapped on here by default. So for instance, long press the bottom button here and you'll bring up Samsung Pay for all of your NFC contactless payment goodness. And meanwhile, War Great Mate Bixby is just a long press of that top button away. Hey Bixby, is Sunderland Football Club going to win the championship this season?
That's
To be fair, not even Jesus could probably help with that one. I still personally prefer the Google Assistant to Bixby, it's just a lot more helpful, but hey ho, the good news is that that built-in mic picks up your voice cleanly and clearly when you are chatting away to the Google Assistant. Even if I was somewhere very noisy, the mic generally picked up my voice and understood what I was trying to say. And likewise the speaker, as long as you bump up the volume to the maximum levels, you can generally hear what is going on with lots of stuff going on all around you. And you can also use the mic and speaker to take calls on the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro via your smartphone if you don't have the LTE option. This is just the basic Wi-Fi model. And again, this worked perfectly well. The person on the other end of the phone call could hear what I was banging on about even when there was lots of stuff going on all around me, and I could just about make out them as well. So it's quite handy if you can't get your smartphone out of your pocket because you've got handfuls of crap or a kid who's, acting up or something like that. Just quickly and easily respond, job done. Now, all of the essential apps that you would hope for and expect come pre-installed on the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, including timers, schedules, voice memos, yada yada. Just jump on into the Play Store and you can download more via your smartphone or your watch's built-in Wi-Fi, or of course the option of that hot LTE action if you've got a bit of that. You've got a small selection of subcategories to choose from, and you've got a growing selection of apps here on good old Wear OS, so plenty to get downloaded. You'll generally find what you need. But I found that even with just the pre-installed stuff, the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro could basically do what I needed it to. So for instance, you've got full media controls. Can be slightly awkward to tap on that tiny little bouncing icon down at the bottom there, but when the media controls do pop up, they work pretty bloody well. Slight delay between prodding the screen and something actually happening, but we're literally talking not even quite a second, not enough to ruin your day, that's for sure. You've also got the option of slapping some tunes directly onto the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 Pro via the wearable app. Fairly painless process. Then just pair up to some true wireless earbuds, some headphones, whatever you want via the Bluetooth menu, and away you go. You can just leave your smartphone at home while you go jogging or running or off down the gym, whatever it is that fit people do. I found the notifications generally worked a charm as well. I generally got a buzz on my wrist a mere half a second or a second or so after a notification hit my smartphone, and then you can just quickly tap your way into them and basically read the entire content of an email if you like. You can then send a short, snappy response if you want, otherwise you can simply delete a message, although I found quite often when I hit delete, it simply told me to continue on phone. And the Watch 5 Pro is also proper stacked when it comes to all of your fitness shenanigans. Samsung's clever bioactive sensor helps the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro to keep full tabs on your heart rate, your blood oxygen levels, even the likes of your blood pressure, all with impressive accuracy. If you want to use the blood pressure feature though, you will have to actually fully calibrate the watch using a dedicated blood pressure sensor. And the Watch 5 Pro does a great job of automatically detecting any exercise types such as walking or running that you might be getting up to without you having to go into the exercise widget and start it off manually, and generally it'll pick it up from the beginning when you first started doing your bit of walking or whatever, and then it'll give you a little nudge after a few minutes saying, hey, we've noticed you're walking, do you want to track this? If you don't respond, it'll just continue to track it automatically anyway. And then it generally also does a great job of realizing when you've stopped exercising, and then it shuts it down. For other exercise types, well, you can kick these off directly from the widget. And there really is a massive selection of arm flapping, sweat-inducing activities to choose from here. Pretty much all of your regular stuff that most people are into, the likes of the cycling, the weights training, got a bit of circuit training, you can do full swim tracking as well. Pretty much any kind of gym equipment you could imagine, and if your own preferred exercise isn't there, well don't worry, there's a massive selection of extra stuff to choose from. The likes of golf and handball and hand gliding, horse riding, hula hooping. My own personal favourite, the lunge, very satisfying. And then after you've got all sweaty, the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro will sync up with your smartphone, copy across all that data, and then you can review your exercise sessions right here in the Samsung Health app. Just tap on any individual session and you'll get a full breakdown of your workout, including the number of calories burned, your heart rate throughout that session, an actual heart rate zone so you can see if you are fat burning, etc, etc. And you've also got a handy little heart rate recovery section. So the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro will continue to monitor your heart rate for 2 minutes following an exercise session. You can see how long it takes your heart to get back down to normal levels. In my case, obviously longer than 2 minutes, so that's probably not great. And the bioelectrical impedance analysis sensor is once again back on board, so your body composition tracking can be accessed at any point. Just stick your fingers on those buttons and you'll get an estimate of your body fat percentage, your skeletal muscle, BMI, all that shenanigans. I'm not entirely sure how much I trust this because the figures do tend to vary quite considerably on a hourly, let alone a daily basis. but it is good to give you a rough indication of where you lie as far as your fat mass and your skeletal muscle and all that stuff is concerned. And the Watch 5 Pro boasts loads of other great fitness related features, far too many to even begin to go into, but for instance you've got the likes of Track Back, which can help you retrace your steps if you get a bit lost in the wilderness. You could also load in preset routes for your cycles, your hikes or whatever, which I haven't tested because, I mean, look at me, do I look like the kind of person who plans to do exercise? And of course you've got the usual sleep tracking shenanigans on the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro as well, so you can see exactly how well you've kipped over the past week. You've got a sleep chart, so you can see how long you spent awake in REM sleep, light sleep, etc. You can also track your SpO2 levels while you're asleep and even tell you if you are snoring, although for that one you need to use your smartphone's microphone and just have it pointed at you all night long, which seems a bit weird. And I've got to say the sleep tracking smarts are generally more reliable here on the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro than a lot of other premium smartwatches I've tested. Occasionally it will think you were asleep for 20 minutes or so while you were actually just checking your smartphone in bed or whatever, but for the most part very good indeed. The Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 Pro can also now study your sleep habits over time and then assign you an animal type based on what kind of sleeper you are. For instance, apparently I'm a big fluffy cuddly lion. Each animal type will then get their own program to follow to improve sleep quality over time. It's a 4-week program, so nice and short and pretty simple stuff. And because I've been using the watch for a couple of weeks so far, I've only just started my sleep program, so I can't say for sure whether it's going to actually help or not, but frankly at this point it takes me about 5 pots of coffee just to stay awake during the day, so I don't think sleeping is something I need much help with. Now, battery life on the Galaxy Watch 4 from last year was, to put it politely, total trouser, and Samsung has attempted to fix this wee problem here on the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. And it's done so by stuffing a beefy 590 mAh battery inside of the Pro model, which is twice the size of that you'll find in the regular version. And has this actually worked? Well, kind of. If you use the Watch 5 Pro reasonably sparingly, so just, checking notifications, doing the auto exercise tracking, occasionally using, the stopwatch, the timer, some basic apps like that, you might just about squeak 3 full days of use from a full charge. However, if you are, making liberal use of Bixby, Samsung Pay, you're tracking lots of exercise sessions, doing all kinds of extra stuff here on the smartwatch, then you'll probably just get 2.5 days out of a full charge. So it's certainly better than previous generations, which were generally having to be charged every single frickin' night, but still not a patch on some rivals from the likes of Huawei, which tend to go a week or two between charges. Much better if you are out and about on the road quite a lot, going on trips, etc. And also that bigger battery does mean that the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro charges more slowly, so you will have to stick it on the dock for a good couple of hours to get a full charge from it. But overall, it is an improvement. I don't really know what they're going to do for future endeavors, if they're just going to keep on growing it bigger and bigger and bigger until it's the size of an actual smartphone. Be very interesting to see. And that right there is my full final frank review of this Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 Pro after having it strapped to my arm for about a fortnight or so, and I gotta say I really do like it. I thought it might be a bit too big when I first tried it on, but actually it seems okay for my spindly wee wrist. It's got all the features packed in there that you would want, and of course full expandability via Google Play. The performance is good, the touchscreen is good, the battery life is better at least. It's just a shame it doesn't have that rotating bezel. That's the one feature I really did miss on this thing. Anyway, that's what this bald northerner reckons. What do you guys think? Are you tempted by the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 Pro? Maybe you'd rather go for the regular model, which I will be replacing this one with on my wrist. I'll be reviewing the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 in probably about another couple of weeks. But in the meantime, it'd be great to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Please do plug, subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech, and have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everyone. Love you.